This video is my highlights from the Master Duel Triangle event. I'm playing a Madolche Nemleria deck, and the only reason I built this deck is pretty much because it was a dessert themed deck to match my Madolche Chateau dual field. Yeah, these engines couldn't be any more polarizing. Honestly, they don't work well together at all because Nemleria pretty much locks you out of special summoning from the extra deck. So every turn I have a dilemma on whether I play Nemleria cards or I play Madolche cards, and I prefer the Nemleria engine. I think it's much stronger in my opinion, so I prefer to play through the Nemleria engine. I use the Madolche engine to bait out any possible interruptions or hand traps, or as a last resort, obviously, if I don't draw into my Nemleria cards. The extra deck is a little different from my ranked deck because Madolche Sistar and Meowcaroons, it was banned, which is super weird in my opinion, but I guess they consider it an XYZ. So my extra deck is just consistent of the Madolche XYZ monsters followed with just a bunch of throwaways because all the Nemleria effects are cost for banish. So this one's a bit of a long one. I got a bit excited with this deck. It's super fun. I didn't even know Nemleria existed until like a week ago, and yeah, it's super fun. Also, conveniently, they're from the same secret pack, which is nice. So this is a good hand right here. I have two Sweet Dreams. I'm summoning Dream Tower right now, which banished 2, as you can see, to get 2 Nemleria level 10 beast monsters to my hand. Now I activated Sweet Dreams to search for Dreaming Nemleria, which everything revolves around. I activated the Nemleria effect to summon her to the extra deck face up, which gives me another field spell, which is always handy because now it's just more back row. I set Imperm and Nemleria Repeater, the one that's set on the right side. Insane card. I mean, it just such a strong, it just holds off the opponent. That's the strat. This is the strat right here, and Nemleria pretty much controls the board, and it's a slow progression build up to getting enough attack points to finish off your opponent. So right here he has a card that's unaffected by monsters, so I'm using the Repeater's effect, and obviously it was negated, sent to the graveyard. That's fine because Dream Tower Nemleria, I could banish 1 for cost, and it protects, and it says once per turn on the card, but it's actually a soft once per turn. So you'll see through the course of this video that every single time a Nemleria monster is about to be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can banish 1 and save it as many times as I want, as many materials I have in the extra deck. So now I'm playing Madolche. Oh, a Dreaming Nemleria has to be face up in the extra deck for it to work. So now I'm deciding to play through Madolche because I pretty much have nothing else. Getting Tiramisu out, trying to bounce his monster, and it worked. Now summon Tiara Phrase, so I have interruption. Here's a misplay. When you activate Queen Tiramisu's first effect to bounce the cards, don't use the second effect to shuffle them back into the deck, because now actually Queen Tiara Phrase is not active because I shuffle. Queen Tiara Phrase needs a Madolche monster in grave to target for her to actually be active, but I'm pretty sure he misunderstood the card, my opponent, so he's about to quit soon. But if you read correctly, he would know that Tiara Phrase is actually not a threat. Her effect is not active right now, so that was a huge misplay on my part. But like I said, I built this deck a week ago and I'm just learning, so I kind of got lucky with this one. The misplay didn't cost me. I ended up with the win anyways. And let's see how the second duel goes. Spoiler alert, that's the most Madolche you'll see in this. I did do more Madolche combos during the course of the Duel Triangle. I just didn't happen to save them. I don't know why. I didn't feel like they were worthy enough to save or something. I'm not sure. But all these replays are pretty much all Nemleria effects. So this, I could special summon with three banished cards without having Dreaming Nemleria face up on the extra deck. The other two, so this chocolate guy and this vanilla, Oriler and Couette. Chocolate is Oriler, vanilla is Couette. They can only be special summoned if Dreaming Nemleria is face up. But the rainbow colored one, Dreaming Devour, I could special summon without Dreaming Nemleria, so that's a huge bonus. So just having Oriler, see, I saved Oriler. I saved him again twice. Another banish. So I could do that for as long as I have materials in the extra deck. So now you're starting to see why I don't play into Madolche as heavily. And the biggest board breaker is actually Dreaming Nemleria herself. When my extra deck is empty, I could special summon her. And when I special summon her, I can activate the effect, and for every 3 face down banished cards I have, I can special summon. I could banish one of my opponent's cards that they control. So if I banish all 15 cards face down, then I could banish 5 of my opponent's cards on the field, which is massive. And then if Sweet Dreams Nemleria, the card I have in my hand, if it's in the graveyard, I could activate its effect, and then I could bring Dreaming Nemleria back on top of my extra deck, and then for each card that I banish from my opponent, I could return one of my banished cards to the extra deck. So if I banish 5 cards of my opponents, I could return 5 cards to my extra deck. So you could see how this thing just kind of cycles, right? Yeah, so that's a little explanation of the gameplay. Now back to the commentary. So I ended up banishing everything. Now I'm about to bounce this whole board and pretty much push for game. But you can see how slowly and gradually I just eat away at his life points. It's not like an OTK deck, it's a control deck that you just slowly eventually see. Look, I'm at 7,300, he's at 1,500, but we're on turn 5. So it is a slow progression, but see, so the cards came back. I activated Devour. Another effect is in graveyard, I could also special summon for 3. If it's in my hand, I could special summon for 3 banishes. Insane card, Devour. Devour gets me to set Nemleria Repeater, which is the trap card, right away. Like, if you really look into the card effects and how they play Nemleria, it's crazy. The only downfall is it locks you out of the extra deck. So the extra deck is just for banishing if you play with Nemleria. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, now let me do more of a commentary. I didn't really commentate the last game. So here, I activate Dream Tower Nemleria first. Banish 2. Perfect. That was the bait, because ideally See the two Nemleria monsters in my hand? They can only be special summoned if I have Dreaming Nemleria face up on the extra deck, which I'm doing right now. So I search for Dreaming Nemleria, Pendulum Summon, activate the effect. It sets the Dream Tower. So now that she's here, everything is active. She's just sleeping, you know, little kid having her little kid dreams, and these are her dream protectors. She dreamt up some dessert themed monsters to protect her from all these. Who are these? Is this the Dragon Maid one? Let's see. Nope. This is, oh yeah, it is the Dragon Maid one. This one is hilarious. This person is about to try like to to attack my monsters, to destroy them multiple times, which I don't blame them, because not a lot of people know about this Nemleria deck. And Dream Tower says it's once per turn, but it's a soft once per turn. And because of that, and it's early on in the game, it's only turn 2, so a lot of cards, let's count how many times they attempt to destroy one of my monsters. Okay, there's one right there. Oh, I activated Couette. Couette is a negate. When anyone tries to target a Nemleria card, I forget if it's a Nemleria card or Nemleria monster, but okay, now I use Dream Tower to protect Couette, because Couette is only once per turn, a hard once per turn. But now, so there it is, right? So Dream Tower is a soft once per turn, Couette is a hard once per turn. The chocolate guy, O'Reiler, his effect is I can banish one, and the amount of monsters my opponent controls at that specific time when I'm activating the effect for each monster he has on the field is plus 500. So if he has 4 monsters ready to be fusion summoned all into one monster, you should activate the effect so you get plus 500 times 4, right? So even when those 4 monsters leave and there's only one monster, for that turn, he's at 2,500 plus another 1,000, so that's 3,500. And it's a quick effect, so when a monster tries to crash into me, I don't even have to use Dream Tower. If I can do the math and I know I could get big enough where he crashes into me, and then that's a tricky, sly way of clearing the board with, well, not clearing the board, but at least destroying one monster with O'Reiler. Nemleria Repeater has 3 effects. Each have different banish costs. If I banish one, I could get a Nemleria card from the graveyard to my hand. If I banish 2, I can have the amount of damage I take at that turn. If I banish 3 and send a level 10 beast monster that I currently control, it's not even in the hand, I have to be controlling it on the field, then I can negate all effects of monsters, which comes in pretty handy. It works on a lot of monsters that you think like would be unaffected or things like that. It surprisingly works on them as well sometimes, which is pretty huge. Oh, so I normal summon Mageline. In the ranked version, I cut her. Also at the end of the Duel Triangle, I also cut her. She's just not necessary. It's kind of a brick. So yeah, I know we've already seen like 2 duels with me versing like a Red Eyes deck. Again, I didn't really pay attention in that sense, what I was saving, who my opponents were. I just felt like in that moment when I was really hyped, I'm like, yes, like what a cool victory. See, this is what I mean. I used Oralder's effect to make him gain attack points, and outed his Guardian Chimera. And yeah, now I'm using Repeater's effect because I had 2 more cards to banish, right? So I used Repeater's effect to bring back Couette. I used Oralder's effect again. Now I cleared his board. Now I'm getting 5 cards that I banished back into my extra deck. And yeah, that's basically it. I would have used Sweet Dreams, Nemleria's effect, Engrave to bring Dreaming Nemleria back to the extra deck. And that's pretty much it. So let's see what this next duel has in store for us. Alright, so most of my replays were playing first, now I'm playing second. Pretty alright, decent hand I have. I have Nib, which I really enjoy. I really like. I can't remember if he plays into it or not. Yeah, I just realized that most of my replays were against a Red Eyes deck. I promise you I played this not only against Red Eyes, I've played against other decks, been successful. I don't know why, coincidentally, I think the other times is like they just quit like really fast when I do the Madolche Nemleria. They feel like very deceived because I used the Madolche first, Nemleria, so I guess I didn't feel like they were worthy enough to save as a replay. It wasn't video worthy, so I didn't do it. So this time I used Regeki as the bait, just to test the waters to see what happens if, right? So now Dreaming Nemleria back on the extra deck. I needed that Regeki negate so then I could get my monsters to be special summoned, right? Luckily I had Repeater in hand, right? Devour usually gets me Repeater, but if I have Repeater in hand and I have these guys and I had Nemleria, Dreaming Nemleria as well, like it was a pretty good hand. Yeah, there was a match that I first where he was playing Mirror Jade and Repeater was able to negate Mirror Jade. It was pretty cool. I can't really remember. I just remember I won that match. I'm not sure if it's in this replay. I'll have to look back at it because instead of commentating the game, I got into the game mechanics. So yeah, again, banish for 3. I'm just trying to empty out my extra deck, but I'm trying to do it effectively. That's the thing. With Eater of Millions, it's just a straight dump, versus with the Nemleria engine, it's a little slower of, and there it is. He quit, and sometimes they quit earlier too. So there's one last duel, but yeah, Eater of Millions, Gildeon Slicer, they empty out the extra deck way faster, and you don't have to play these Nemleria monsters. You would play something else. Realistically, all you need is Dreaming Nemleria, Sweet Dreams, and Eater of Millions, and you could work like that. But obviously I was making a dessert themed deck, so I'm trying to make this work. So it's a slower progression deck, but the effects are deadly, super worth it. Again, lucky I had Dreaming Nemleria in hand, so I used Sweet Dreams as bait. It ends up in the graveyard, which is exactly where I needed to be. Beautiful, right? If I didn't have Dreaming Nemleria in hand, if depending on what card I would have, if it was a hand trap or something, I might have just passed turn, try to negate his board, and then when it comes back to me, then try to play through that, right? So right now I have Devour and Couette on field. I Ash, and I still have Regeki. for next turn. Yeah, like I said, Devour can send. So see, I'm using Nemleria's third effect to negate. And this timing is crucial because I'm actually negating the card that's summoned out, not the card that was on the board previously. So that timing was super interesting. It stopped him. If you time it correctly, it's kind of, you could do it like that. You don't have to negate the actual effect of that monster. You could negate the effect of the monster that's coming out if you chain it properly, if that makes sense. So if it doesn't make sense, you could kind of replay it and see that I actually chained my effect to the monster that he was activating the effect for, but I actually negated the other monster that he special summoned, which was super clutch. That pretty much, that move won me the game. And then yeah, see, I have Petting Cessor on board just to push for game. But yeah, I'll be making videos on this deck for ranked, and I hope you enjoyed it.